like I mentioned, I'm not aware as I come to the podium. I'm not aware of any additional attacks beyond the one that Dan mentioned. But it's something that we'll obviously be, keeping a close eye on to protect our forces.
Secondly, were there any other nations other than the United States and Israel who took part in intercepting missiles or helping to track them or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't have anything to provide on that, and obviously I won't speak for other countries from here. Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask you if you guys talk to the European allies and if you ask for military support in protecting Israel in case of another attack from Israel or the proxies, or if at the moment it's only the US helping Israel military as well?
Well, I'll allow other countries to speak for themselves. I will say, and we'll put a readout on this afternoon. As soon as we're done here, the Secretary did have an opportunity to talk to his French counterpart earlier this morning, just to talk about the situation in the Middle East. This was before the Iranian attack occurred, and so we'll get that out momentarily. Broadly speaking, though, again, in terms of any European coordination or cooperation with Israel, I think that's really for individual countries to talk to. I won't speak to them. Let me go to the phone real quick before I get in trouble. Task and purpose, Jeff Schofel.
Thank you. I understand that the destroyers fired about a dozen interceptors. Did they hit any of the missiles? If so, how many?
Thanks, Jeff. So again, we're, as you highlight, they fired the interceptors. We're still assessing, again, outcomes of that, so I can't really, I just don't have more information to provide at this time.
Are you worried that using your home address for business puts your privacy at risk? At iPostal One, we can help. So, you started your own company, but feel unsafe using your home address for business use. Not only does every customer and vendor see where you live, creepy, but you could be at risk for identity theft, property damage, and much more. With iPostal One, you can get a real physical street address to use for your business, so your personal address stays protected. Choose an address from any of the thousands in our network where you can receive mail and packages from any carrier. Easily view and manage your mail and packages with our app or online. Enemy spotted! And mail content, pick up or discard your mail. You can even use your iPostal One address for business registration. Begin protecting your privacy today with a digital mailbox from iPostalOne.com.
Right, thank you so much. So you mentioned that the United States has the ability and intent to respond if any of its service members are attacked. Over on Friday, you had two U.S. destroyers and an LCS come under attack from the Houthis. It doesn't switch with an Iranian proxy group. So would that give, is there any, any intention to launch any attacks in response to those service members coming under attack?
Well, first of all, Heather, as you are aware, there were no U.S. service members injured in any of those attacks. And as always, we will respond appropriately at a time and place of our choosing, but I'm not going to telegraph or speculate on any punches at this time. All right, and Patrick Tucker, Defense Fund.
Hey, thanks for doing this. So on the announcement of 3 additional aircraft squadrons, F-15s, F-16s, A-10s, they used enemy spotted involved in any of the interception activity. Can you talk a little bit about why they're there and what role they might fill now in terms of
taking hits?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've been for a while. We have a robust amount of capability in the Central Command and U.S. European Command regions. And what those capabilities provide us is versatility in terms of responding to a variety of contingencies. And so basically having the right tools in the toolkit to be able to respond appropriately to any type of or contingency situation. And so, as you well know, Pat, fighter aircraft can perform a variety of missions to include taking down drones, taking down missiles, particular kinds of missiles, as well as providing ISR, electronic warfare, and types of capabilities. So all of this comes together to provide us with options on how best to respond to any type of attack and to protect our forces. Let me come back to the room here. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, General. First, on Iran, after today's attack and the expected response from Israel, is the assessment at the Pentagon still that the situation in the Middle East is still under control and we're not in all-out war yet? And the second question on Lebanon, excuse me, what's your understanding to what Israel is calling limited operations in region? Is it limited by, in time, in scope? How do you see this?
Sure. So in terms of your first question, as you know, we've been
protection barrier up and running
to prevent a wider regional conflict.
Enemy spotted! Taking fire!
What we saw by Iran today makes that more challenging. That continues to remain our goal.
Fuck, I can't do shit.
Continue to stay laser focused on that. In terms of Israel's operations, again, they're in the best position to answer questions, but our understanding in consulting with them is that, again, these will be limited operations focused on dismantling facilities that Hezbollah has built along the border to stage attacks into Israel. And so, part of those discussions, again, have been focused on making sure that there's an understanding as far as potential mission creep. And so, as it relates to the broader tensions in the region. But again, we support their right to defend themselves from Hezbollah attacks. And so we'll continue to consult with them on that. As I mentioned, ultimately, we do believe that a diplomatic resolution is the only way to achieve lasting stability and security there. Take a few more. Phil.
There's a couple small questions. One is, why weren't land-based air defenses used? And did you find that you had the United States had fewer partners in trying to knock down these Iranian missiles this time than it did in April?
I would compare it to a pallet, Phil. You're going to use the capability that you need to respond to a particular situation. So, as evidenced by the fact that our forces were able to so quickly support we have a wide range of capabilities arrayed to be able to respond to whatever those threats may be in the most appropriate way possible. So it's less about the platform and it's more about the capability. And so, again, we still maintain a robust capability to be able to respond to any potential future threats.
And that's sort of what Helene was asking, which was, I think you said a red line that if Iran or its forces were to attack U.S. troops, there would be a U.S. response against Iran. At least that's what it sounded like you were saying. Is that correct?
What I said is it should be very clear that if Iran or its proxies use this as an opportunity to attack U.S. forces, we will respond appropriately. Okay. Last question from that.
Thanks, but I just wanted to clarify a few things that you said in terms of going forward. Is it clear from the U.S. side that this is the imminent risk is over of another attack from Iran?
Well, look, it's something we're going to keep an eye on. We certainly hope that there's not another attack. But obviously, Iran maintains a capability, and it's just demonstrated that they're willing to use it to directly attack Israel. And so we're going to continue to consult closely with Israel on next steps, and importantly, on the defense of Israel. So,
Israel is going to occur. Have they provided any sort of timeline on how long they will take?
I refer you to Israel to talk about that. I don't think it'd be appropriate.
Taking fire!
While there's been an understandable focus today on the Middle East, before we conclude, I would like to provide a quick update on a topic closer to home as DoD continues to work with
I can't announce that live fight this motherfucker. On my damn microphone.
As of this morning, the department has more than 6,500 service members actively engaged in relief Florida has nearly 35